Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Working Trader, where we look at the Euro USD and GBP USD and come up with trade ideas for the day, if there are any. So let's jump right into Forex Factory. Today's a Friday. We have CPI on the USD. So that's the high impact news that we have today. So let's look at the charts and let's see what's going on. So yesterday, price continued to push up. Okay, so this past couple of days, I think since Monday, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, price has been pushing up bullishly. Okay, and now we have mitigated this fair value gap or this area of imbalance, and there is this area of supply at the top. Price has not mitigated that area of supply, neither has price reached this buy to sell range. Okay, so anything is possible. This could be just a pause and price could retrace a little bit, gearing up for the next push. Okay, or price could continue going up, mitigate, and then have a bit of a pullback. And then depending on whether the trend is continuing bearish or it's switching bullish, then it might do one of either. Okay, all right, and then on the pound, it's also the same thing. We've had bullish days pretty much from Monday until Thursday. So today's Friday. We've made relative equal highs. Price could continue sweep these highs and then maybe have a reaction from that point onwards. There's not much really to look at from a daily perspective. So let's look at the 4-hour. On the Euro USD, and this is what we have. So on the 4-hour, let me just mark out my premium discount. Okay, so price still has not yet mitigated, has not reached equilibrium or reached into premium, where it would be favorable for us to look for sales. Okay, and then from an internal perspective, so this is also in range. Okay, and price is essentially pulling back. Okay, so it pulled back, had a bit of a minor retracement and just continued bullish. So expectation is it might continue going up until we mitigate any of these areas in premium. Okay, however, we notice that we do have all these areas of resting liquidity, so any of these areas could be attacked before price gives a reaction to continue bearish, if the bearish trend is to continue. However, as it stands, we now have a bullish internal break of structure. So our swing is bearish, our internal is bullish. So we could be looking to continue with the longs. Okay, we could be looking to continue with longs until we get into this premium area. After which, if we get confirmation, then we can start looking for shorts. Okay, but still nothing too clear on the 4-hour. So let's look at the 15-minute. Let's look at the 15-minute. Okay, my chat is a mess. Let me clear up some things. Okay. Alright, so we've had our swing break of structure. Okay. So we've had our swing break of structure. Swing is now bullish. Swing is now bullish. Intent now is bullish. However, we've broken structure. Okay. We've broken structure, so we could still look for longs. And then at the top, what do we have? So this has been used up. So that has been liquidated. Okay. And then this has been liquidated as well. So that's taken. This is, I think, this is where price is reacting from at the moment. And this is what we have. Okay, so so this is what we have at the moment. We had a strong push out of price. Of course, price did have some reactions, and then we had a strong bearish reaction, and then we've come up and we have slightly swept this area here at the top. Okay. Boom. So this is previous session. It's a previous New York session, which has been liquidated. And let me clear all that. And then I was still viewing this as an area to target. Okay, so this is what we have. That has been cleared. Okay, so we had a strong push up. So yesterday was pretty much a bullish day on the Euro USD, starting from Asia and just continued bullishly all the way. Okay, and then until after hours, or at least after our kill zone, then price started to retrace into Asia. Okay, so we had a fractal change of character, or a fractal break of structure, and nothing too significant after that. Now, do we have okay, we could call it trend line, but I'm not convinced. Okay, so as of now, this is the range that we're in. Okay, this is the range that we're in. So yesterday, we're expecting price to sweep any of these highs and have a reaction, which it did. This one was the better one. Okay, and you'd have had you'd have a 3-1 from there, but otherwise price continued bullish. And then now after our session, that's when price decided to have a proper pullback. Okay, so we didn't break structure really with conviction. Okay, however, we've had a sweep. Okay. Okay, so looking at this, what could we expect today? Okay, so if I look at this range right now, okay, price has not yet mitigated the equilibrium. Okay, so we've not come back into discount yet if we're looking for buys. Okay, this is the structure last low that made this high. So this is our strong bullish range, and it's at EQ. Price has come down. Okay, we've kind of mitigated this area of demand. Yeah, but this demand is exactly at in New York low. Okay. Is it a valid demand? Yes, because it had a sweep. Okay, it had a sweep that led to a break of structure. Okay, a sweep that led to a high. All right. Okay, so this is what we have. Now, right now, I'm not quite too sure what to look at. Okay, so we do have trend line, liquidity at the bottom. Okay, so that could be a possible target. So 1, 2, 3, 4 possible touches. All right, session lows. Okay, low resistance liquidity right there. Okay, so looking at it from another perspective, okay, after a break of structure, we do expect price to pull back. Okay, price hasn't pulled back. We're expecting maybe price to pull back maybe to these areas. Okay, nothing of that sort happened. Now, does it mean that price will not be able to continue bullish from here? Absolutely not. Price could continue from where it is without pulling back. But however, I'm going to be expecting price to drop. Okay, so at least if I'm going to look for longs, then price should at least sweep that area. Okay, price should sweep this, and then one of these areas are possible areas where price could sweep and then give a reaction. Okay, so right now the expectation is that price will continue to drop. Okay, continue to drop until it sweeps any of these areas. Okay, and then after which we could possibly start looking for longs. So price could come down, sweep any of these. After which, if we get a confirmation, we could look for longs maybe towards midpoint of Asia, depending, or just targeting 3 to 1. Okay, and that's the key. That's the key right there. And then what else? In terms of shorts, I mean, there's nothing really to look at. Might be looking at let's see. We do have the trend line. We do have that trend line. So price has already Swept these highs, coming to midpoint. Okay, so no inducement or no liquidity sweep has happened, except right there, and then price is continued to make lower lows, and then it has made this. If we break lower, then we're looking for continuation for shorts towards these areas, and possibly even beyond. Okay, so if we break lower, okay, then I might be looking for price to come up, mitigate, and then continue targeting that. Okay, so these are the trade ideas for Euro USD. Let's see if there's anything for the pound. So starting with the 4 hour. So 4 hour now was pretty much a sweep, and prices come down, still respecting. Break of structure, and that's our extreme. Right there, it's still intact. Okay, and then price push down, it's come up, slow reaction. Okay, so nothing really on the 4 hour for the pound. And then let's see on the 15 minute what we have. So 15 minutes, because of that small break, 15 minutes shifted bullish. Okay, so both our internal and our swing, they are bullish. Okay, this was a break of structure, this was the pullback. Price pretty much has created relative equal lows down here. Okay, so for the pound, I think it's somewhere there, boom boom, break to the downside, and we've come back up. Okay, so if I'm looking at the pound, boom, running the fall, we've mitigated, we've come in and mitigated the into premium. Okay, into premium, we came near equilibrium, gave a reaction, and then came and took it out, and then now this is the reaction. And then I think this could be liquidity that's being targeted, but most importantly, we have a triple bottom. Okay, we have a triple bottom, so that could be target. Of price. Okay, so this is what we have. So on the pound, I think shorts are a lot more clear or a lot more obvious. Okay, so however, we still have the same challenge where we have this being a valid area, because that broke structure and that swept, and then now this is what we have. Prices mitigated this area, so we had a strong push up. Okay, swept, strong push up, broke this internal structure. Okay, and then price, we've had a slow bearish trend. Okay, slow bearish trend. Now we do have these areas of liquidity down here. Okay, so if we clear this, then it's likely, if this is cleared, then it's likely price could continue to go down, and then maybe after it sweeps this, then we might have a bit of a reaction to go up. Okay, So looking at price right now, so it is entirely possible that price could just give a reaction, maybe sweep these areas before continuing towards these areas. Okay, that is entirely possible. And then maybe after that, then we can start looking for longs, or all of this is trend line liquidity, isn't it? All of that is trend line liquidity. So it is possible price could come up, sweep any of these areas. Okay. Hopefully come up to the top. Okay. Sweep that and then start looking for shorts. Okay. So anything is possible. All right. So those are the two ideas that I'll probably be looking at. Price to come up, possibly sweep any of these, give a reaction to the downside, and then possibly target this area. Okay. And then maybe only once we take out this area, then will I start looking for longs. Okay. So otherwise, those are my trade ideas for today. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment and let me know how you are finding value and using this in your own trading. Other than that, have a great day and see you next week. And Working Trader out.